Hi everyone, if you are finding this content helpful and want to dive deeper into the course, make sure to check out the entire course available on Udemy. By purchasing the course, you will get access to the course content, downloadable resources, and exclusive material to help you master developing this app using Flutter and Firebase. The link is in the description below. To set up mobile authentication in our project, we do need to go to our Firebase project here, go to build authentication. Here we have to get started, and here we have to choose phone, enable it, save, and here I will add some demo numbers. Okay, I will scroll down. Here I will add some testing numbers and OTP for those testing numbers. It's successfully added. Now it's time that we write some functions for the entire mobile authentication flow. So I will head over to controller services. We will add a new folder and it's going to be auth services. Here I will go with a new file. It's going to be mobile auth services dot. And inside constants, we will add a new file and it's going to be constant dot. So first thing we have to do is make a Firebase auth instance. So we'll go with Firebase auth equals Firebase auth dot instance. Okay. Now we will head over to mobile auth services dot dart and make a class naming it mobile auth services. And here we will add functions to get OTP, verify OTP, and check for authentication. So let's first go with our first function and it's going to be check authentication. So here we will go with static bool check authentication. And we have to go with an async. So the function will be asynchronous. User equals auth dot current user. So here we have to import Firebase auth. Here we'll go with the check if user equals null, return false, else return true. So basically what this, okay, we don't need to go with asynchronous here. So basically what this function will do, it will check authentication. The moment we open the app, it will check that the desired user is already authenticated or not. If the user is authenticated, he or the user will be redirected to the home screen, else the login screen. Next, we have to check for, we have to create a function that will receive and verify OTP. So next function is going to be receive OTP. We will go for static receive OTP. And here we will go with try catch. Here we will be needing two things. It's going to be required build context and required string mobile number. Inside try we will go with await. We have to mark this function asynchronous. We'll go with await auth dot verify phone number. So the first parameter which we want to introduce here is phone number, and it's going to be mobile number. Okay. Now here we do have 4 stages, I think so. Let's add comma here, and okay. Now let's have a look onto those 4 stages. Verification completed, verification failed, code sent, and code auto readable timeout. So coming up first, for verification complete, we will go with phone auth credentials, and here for verification failed, we will go with Firebase auth exception. We have to make sure it's inside brackets, and here it's going to be exception. And on code send, what we want to do, we will be going with string verification ID, and here int resend token, and here at last we have code auto retrieval timeout. Here we will go with string verification ID, and we are good. Receive OTP. So for each of these fields, we need to execute some specific functions inside these curly braces. Okay. So we will go with the next function, that is static verify OTP. So here it's going to be static it's going to be verify OTP. Okay. Here also we will go with required field context, and coming up next, required string OTP. And it's going to be an asynchronous function. Here we will go with try catch, and inside try we will go with await. Okay, it's going to be auth credential equals phone auth provider dot credential, and here we have to pass the verification ID, and here we have to pass the OTP. So it's going to be OTP here, comma. Okay, we have to pass the verification ID here. So now coming up, we will go with await auth dot sign in with credential. Here we do have credential, and once sign in, we want to navigate the user to a specific screen, that is sign in screen. So we'll go to view, and here we will add a new folder, naming it sign in logic screen. We will go with a new file here. It's going to be sign in logic screen dot, and it's going to be a stateful widget. Here we'll go for sign in logic screen. Here we will return scaffold body, and here it's going to be an image, asset image, and here at top we will go with Android images, and inside images we will create a new folder, and the file name is going to be splash screen image. And here is our splash screen, so we have to move to PubSpec and add this splash screen. I will paste this one. Now we have to remove this much, and we are good. Okay, so let's save it. So we will save it and we'll make sure that it runs Flutter pubget. We'll go to sign in logic, and here it's going to be assets slash images slash, then we have to copy the name of the folder, rename, Control C, paste here, and here comes rename, Control A C, name of the. Now we will add comma. Let's save it. Here we want to make sure we will go with const. And we will introduce init state here, and inside init state we want to go with widget binding thing. Okay, and here we have added widget binding instance at post frame callback. So there is another package which we do want to add in our pubs pack, and it's page transition. So let's add it. We will go with Flutter pub add page transition, and it will add page transition. So basically this package is somewhat like that. It is used for transitions. Okay, so you navigate from page A to page B. So the page B, from which side you want to open the page B, as you can see here, it coming from top, it coming from bottom, right, left, corners, everything. So we will be using this package for page transitions. So here in mobile auth services, we are getting this verification ID error. So there's another thing which another package which we want to add up is provider for the state management. So I will go with Flutter pub add provider, and here we will go to main.dart, and here we will return provider, we will return multi-provider, and here we have to add up all the providers. And here in child, we will pass this material. Paste up here, remove this, and we are good. Here we will go to controller provider and add a new folder, naming it auth provider. And inside of it, we will go with a new file, naming it auth provider.dart. So here we'll go with class auth provider extends change notifier, and we are good here. So here we will introduce string verification ID, and by default it's going to be a null. And then we will introduce a function update verification ID, and here we'll go with string verification. Here we'll go with verification ID equals to verification and notify listeners. Another parameter which we do want to introduce here is string mobile number, and we will copy this, paste here, and it's going to be update mobile number. and it's going to be number. Here it's going to be mobile number equals number, and we are good to go here. So coming up here, we have passed build context, so we will go with context dot read. Here we'll go with auth provider. Let's have a look, and it's going to be mobile auth provider. Copy this one, paste here, import the provider file dot verification ID. We have to add a null check here, and it's good. So there is another function that is receive OTP, and here we do need to go with like introduce a little bit of logics here. So here coming up at first is the verification complete. On verification complete, we just want to print the credentials dot toString, and on verification failed, we want to throw an exception. First we will print the error exception dot toString, and then comes up throw exception. And okay, we are good here. Now on code send, what we want to do, we want to update the verification ID. So we'll go with context.read mobile auth provider dot update verification ID, and here it's going to be verification ID. And the next thing which we want to do is navigate from login screen to OTP screen. For that one, we will go with navigator dot push, and here we'll go with page transition. We have to go with child, and child is going to be OTP screen, that is to which screen we want to navigate to, and type it's going to be page transition right to left. Okay, we are good here. Now here we do have receive OTP, that is this verify OTP. Now we have to add a little bit of logics here. So once the OTP is verified, we want to make sure that we navigate the user to login screen, and not login screen, sign in logic screen. So we'll go with navigator dot push. Yeah, it's going to be page transition. Let's copy from above. Come down, paste here. We will just remove this, and here we'll go with sign in logic screen. Okay, we are good. Here in catch, we will throw exception key, and we are good. And before that, we will go with a log message key dot toString. We will copy this one, come above, do the same here. Okay, we are good. Now in sign in logic screen, we have this widget binding thing. So inside here, we will go with mobile auth services dot check authentication. Here we will go with bool is authenticated equals this one. Okay, we can do one thing like check authentication. Yeah, instead of this thing, we can navigator dot push and remove until And here we have to go with the new route. Here we have to introduce build context, and here it's going to be material page route builder. We will go with context. If we are not authenticated, we want to go to login screen, mobile login screen. We have to go with const here. Let's save it. If we are not authenticated, then we will go to mobile login screen. Else we want to go to bottom navbar, Uber Eats. Okay, that is, if we are authenticated, then we will go to home screen. If we are not, then we will go to login screen. That's the entire thing. Now here inside view sign in, here we have to pass context, and we are good. Now let's in main, let's return sign in logic screen, and here we have to add a provider. We will go with change notifier provider, and here is our provider that we do need to add inside this providers list. So we'll go with change notifier provider, then we will pass the class name of the provider. This is the class name. Then we will pass the class. Okay.
Hi everyone, if you are finding this content helpful and want to dive deeper into the course, make sure to check out the entire course available on Udemy. By purchasing the course, you will get access to the course content, downloadable resources, and exclusive material to help you master developing this app using Flutter and Firebase. The link is in the description below.